Okay, so we can have a quick look at these two. Mainly this, comparing it with this. This is a Martindale Glock, pretty old. Martindale number 2. It's supposed to be some kind of high carbon steel. I'm not absolutely convinced, although it certainly rusts like that. I suspect it's a 10X, probably 1055, something maybe higher, maybe lower. It's just got a 600 grit finish on it at the moment. It's got a German beechwood handle. It's supposed to be British steel, but it's finished at least in Southeast Asia somewhere. The German beechwood handle is good and bad. It's comfortable, but in the summer it shrinks a little bit, making the metal proud, and then I have to file the metal back. And then of course in winter it swells a little bit, leaving the wood proud. Then I've got to file that back, otherwise it kind of cuts your hands a little bit. So it's not brilliant. What I do like about it is that it's cheap as chips. I don't care using it on something that might have stones or damage the blade a little bit, because I don't really care what happens to it. And it is handy. It's nice, thick, stout, pretty much a beater. It doesn't have the original sheath, it's just something I whipped together, and it weighs about 566 grams. This is a Kailash Blades M43 Marshall model, made out of 5160. It's got shape like a traditional M43, except it's got a slightly shorter blade than normal, and it's got 3 pins in the handle, not 2. The handle itself is made out of Himalayan rosewood. It's got 3 pins, and they've got a little bit of brass around them, making them look quite attractive. It's got a really nice tapered Tang. Does a really good job there. It's got a butt cap which has a keeper, but I think that's purely decorative. I don't think it's actually needing to be there. It also weighs 566 grams. Issue I've got with it is that the tip of the handle chipped, not through any kind of impact, it just cracked off. I suspect I'm going to have to replace the handle at some point with micarta, but that's fine. The interesting thing about Kailash blades is that what they do is they heat, well, they made out of 5160, they bang it into shape, then they stress relief it 3 times by heating it up, letting it cool, repeating. Then they finish the blade, then they heat treat it, and then they cool it in oil, unlike most Himalayan made knives, which is done in water in a teapot. Then after that they do a triple temper in an oven for 2 hours each time. So the heat treatment on this is supposed to be top notch. Now the issue I have is that it didn't come very sharp. Partly that was because the edge had, well, it wasn't stropped basically. Once I stropped it, it was better. And because I opted for a polished blade, I suspect that when they polish it, they overheat the edge ever so slightly. Now I have put a 4000 grit finish on the edge. I had to sharpen it to get it acceptable, and it's going to convex grind. I did that with the TS Prof jig, and it comes with a nice little leather sheath and frog. So it cuts nicely. This one I'm more familiar with. very familiar with this one. I've used it a lot. This one less so, hopefully. Work just as well. The only issue I'd have with this one is that I'd cry if I smacked into a stone. Guess this is just way sharper. Yeah. Oh, these blades. Fucking fantastic.